Every day, America Online is making it easier for people to live, work, and play.
When we installed internet access on our computer, I got the whole family involved.
And you play music for free.
Just what is this main artery of the information superhighway?
You beautiful bastard.
No matter how large, no matter how small, we'll be on the internet in the year 2000. It's the primary way that people will look at information.
Shut up!
When we were there.
Hello and welcome to When We Were There, Biased Internet History. I'm Thomas.
And I'm Josh, and this is a podcast all about the history of internet content, the who's, the what's, the where's Waldo. We're going to get into it all.
Whether you like it or not.
Can I tell you a secret, Thomas?
Sure.
I've been terrified of doing my opening line since the Lonely Girl episode with Yusuf. I just feel like I'm going to fuck it up every time.
Every time. I don't know if you noticed, but I actually kind of went like internet. I didn't quite say internet.
It's still me, like I messed it up and then I choked. I was like B Rabbit in that movie, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm choking now. I had mom's spaghetti all over my shoes. I'm losing my shit.
You've had it tough, actually, because then the next episode after with Judson, that one was... It should be fixed by the time you guys get to listen to it.
By the time they're listening to this, they would have heard it.
Yes.
Here's what happened.
Okay, yeah.
We use this new app called Riverside FM, which is like the podcasting Zoom, essentially. It's what all the kids are doing. And the thing is, you can't mute individual people. So since we're in the same room and Thomas has a busted mic, it was like I could hear myself delayed in my headphones, and it's so hard to ask questions while doing that.
It was a challenge, to be sure.
To be sure, it was a challenge.
I might bleep the name so we're not slandering them, even though it's the truth.
It's the truth. Blank F blank.
Yeah, we're gonna blank the name out.
Yeah, but be able to mute other people.
And they say that you can do it. We asked them, and they're like, "Yeah, you can do it." As far as we can tell, you can't.
So they're liars.
This
too.
is beside the point, though.
Sponsor us, and this will never come out.
Yeah,
give us cash.
Give us cash, and we'll keep it quiet.
And then to add insult to goddamn injury, the other day, well, first of all, a friend of ours, a collaborator of ours, who I used to work with, from the production company Trembling Void. I love you guys. You guys are
names today.
You guys have really helped us out a lot in the past, and you've helped us out recently. Ingo, Amy, I love you. But Ingo told me, one of the guys there, that you can eat eggs if they're out of the fridge, because if the shell isn't cracked, they're good. Which you can in like every other continent except for North America, minus Mexico. Here, that's
Mexico is. Oh, you're saying minus Mexico.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Easy.
I thought you were going to say they weren't part of North America just because they speak Espanol.
Yeah, so Ingo, all the love. Check out Trembling Void. Check out the cool shit they're doing. But you led me astray.
He poisoned you.
So we did a commercial recently. We shot a commercial for someone. We'll keep that name hush-hush for now. And we had eggs in it. So we bought a bunch of eggs. There were 7 eggs left over. And they were out for 3 days. In my head, I'm thinking, God damn it, these are perfectly great eggs.
Why not make a 7-egg omelet?
Yeah, I made a 7-egg omelet. After an hour earlier, before exercising, I had an egg sandwich. So it was a real eggy day.
Yeah.
So I made the omelet, and it was like halfway through, I'm like, oh, I don't want to eat the rest of this, but I don't want to let eggs go to waste. I'm pretty broke until my commercial money comes in.
Till that commercial cash.
So I ate the whole 7-egg omelet with cheese. And I was just feeling real bad, real sick. Like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to puke. And I was out with Thomas and another friend of ours at a distance coffee. And they said, well, what did you eat? And I said, well, I had 7 eggs. First of all, that's too many eggs.
It's a lot of eggs.
It's too many eggs.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking straight. And then second of all, I'm like, oh no, they were sitting out a while. Apparently you can't eat eggs that have sat out for more than 2 hours, let alone 4 days.
You're feeling okay now, right?
I'm feeling better now. I got a ginger ale for my tummy.
This is insane. You keep name dropping.
Oh, jeez.
You're gonna have to blur that out.
We don't have the right to Schweppes.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm feeling better now. I don't think I have salmonella.
Yeah, I was
because I cooked the eggs.
There was fear that perhaps we wouldn't be able to record this episode.
Yeah, there was fear. like the last 2 days were kind of a write-off. I'm slacking on some work that I have to get done today. It's gonna be quite the day. But I'm fine now. Maybe I'll start puking tomorrow. I don't know.
If you don't puke tomorrow, I think you're good for the rest of your
good
life.
for the rest of my life. I can chug raw eggs and raw fish and chicken. I'm
Yeah,
aced.
but raw beef? No.
No.
Definitely not.
Unless it's tartare. It's pretty ace. Anyway,
Tartare
this is an
sauce.
internet history podcast.
Is tartare sauce for beef tartare?
No, it's for fish.
Tuna tartare.
I guess it'd be kind of gross though.
Okay. Why is it the same name?
Because today we're going to be talking about MCNs, multi-channel networks.
So I guess like fuck
Tartar
me.
sauce. One's tartar sauce, the other is tartare. It's a different language.
Okay. Sorry.
So
I
let's
guess.
fucking move on.
Sorry that I wanted to learn something from you.
Okay. Tartar as in that fish is retarder. Blur that out. There's a lot of stuff.
I'm gonna have to bleep like this whole episode.
This whole episode's going to have to be goddamn bleeped in the can.
Yeah. What are we talking about today?
Multi-channel networks, MCNs.
What are those?
Well, what it is.
Remember that?
What are those?
That was like a Vans commercial. Isn't that?
Oh, is it
isn't
Damn
that just-
Daniel? No, that's Damn Daniel. That's a completely different thing. We're getting old. But no, what a multi-channel network, what are those there's like kind of like similar like a conglomerate, like a Disney, a Hulu, whatever you are, and they're a bigger company that goes to smaller companies and says, hey, we'll advertise for you, we'll push your stuff, we'll push you in our recommended, and then we get a slice of your pie, and then you have to sign a contract with us for whatever allotted amount of time that says we own your IP.
You know what's kind of crazy, right? Is so like let's say there are
Intellectual property. Yeah.
eight slices in a pie.
Yeah.
So you just have to get 8 people to give you one slice, and then you have a full pie.
You have a full pie.
And none of them have a full pie anymore.
Yeah.
And you didn't even do anything.
You get more than that? You got 2 whole pies. Everyone else doesn't even have a whole pie.
They don't even have a whole pie.
So that's what MCNs do. They essentially, like let's say one like a machinima.
Yeah.
Was one of the very.
That's one of the first ones.
And what they did is they're like, okay, well, we're very gaming based. So what we'll do is we'll get all these Let's Players or people that do like, let's say gaming content, whether it be like comedy or them playing the game. And it's like, okay, this aligns with our brand. We'll put you in our recommended. We'll shout you out. We'll put your videos on our channel.
Yeah.
So if you're an independent creator, I mean, that sounds fantastic. Like if you're going into it not really knowing.
They're like, we're going to pay you cash.
Yeah.
And you make like a certain amount of videos a month for us. And we put them on our channel. And you're going to get views. And you're going to get fans. And you're going to get paid.
Yeah, insane.
Done deal.
So you guys might be thinking, well, aside from the whole pie thing, okay, I don't need a whole pie maybe.
Yeah.
What's so bad about this? Says Joe Schmo in 2013 when everyone's a part of an MCN and they all love it. But I think if you're someone who keeps up with internet culture right now, you know that MCNs are like kind of a terrible thing. And most people are trying to like avoid it by getting their own sponsors outside of just AdSense, who essentially are trying to like either through an agent or do it independently because MCNs kind of fuck people over.
Yeah, and they always have. I
Yeah.
mean, like, you know more about the later shit than I do,
Yeah.
but fucking Machinima, there's huge scandals with the shit they pulled, even back as far as like 2009. They were fucking creators over. And not only just so they had like a lot of gamers on their shit, and then also a lot of animators that they like took advantage of
Yeah.
and really fucked over. So the big thing with Machinima, it's first off, their whole like, we'll post you on our channel and then you'll get views. And often, unless you were like a really big creator, but a lot of like the smaller creators,
Yeah.
they would be like, you can't post on your own channel anymore.
Yeah, no, I know BuzzFeed has done similar stuff where like if you're making content for BuzzFeed,
Yeah.
you're not allowed. Oh, we got a mic issue.
No, keep going.
No. But no, if you're making videos for BuzzFeed, I think it's like there's a certain allotted amount of time, even if you leave BuzzFeed, is you are not allowed to make original content that is in the same vein of what you were producing on BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of people leave BuzzFeed. And when they leave, there's a lot of stuff that is technically the intellectual property of BuzzFeed. So like maybe there's an allotted amount of time that you can't make that show that you're making there.
Yeah. Or I think Adam Ellis, he was a BuzzFeed guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he had a lot of beef with them.
Most people that like get big on BuzzFeed, eventually leave BuzzFeed, and then have like that why I left BuzzFeed video, you know? Like
Yeah.
there's usually a lot to say. I know there's a lot of creators who have like lost their IP and lost the show, and I think there's some people that have like stayed with BuzzFeed just because they have a successful show. Or like the Try Guys, I think really had to push hard to like keep their IP.
Yeah.
And they can do it independently now, but like that's just new. Like if you look back at like what even like you were saying with Machinima is like you can't even post on your own channel.
Well, yeah, so that was one of the big things. It's like you can't post on your own channel unless like you're like a dude with like some sway.
Yeah.
Like fucking Arby the Chief or
Well, it'd be cool if we could like talk to someone like that at some point.
Nice. That was not subtle.
Okay. Next week. What was that?
I'm winking.
It was very unsettling. RV and the Chief.
Perhaps matchmaking.
Yeah.
I don't really remember a lot of the shows on Machinima because their channel was bad. And you want to know why? It's because they would dump so many videos like every day. Like they would have like 10 uploads. Like if you subscribe to Machinima,
Oh, I
your
made the mistake.
Yeah, your subscription feed would just be blown the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then people would be like, "Oh, I'm not getting any fucking." They'd be getting like modest views on their channel, maybe a few thousand views a video. And then Machinima comes over and they're like, "You want to get paid some cash? You'll get paid cash for every view you get."
Yeah.
And then we'll post it on your channel. So you're on our channel and look how many subscribers we have. You're guaranteed views. But then it's like, 20 videos come out that day. Yours gets
you get
lost in the fold.
Yeah.
Not only that, but they also made the thumbnail of all the videos that Machinima logo. So it's not even like there's anything to grab your attention.
Yeah, and if you can't make videos on your own channel, like, I mean, you really just have to hope that someone loves that specific video enough to when you leave, go follow you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and that's a lot of the thing with like a lot of these MCNs is like in theory they sound great, but depending on like what the stipulations of the company are, like it really kind of fucks you over. Like I think one that we talk about a lot is the station.
Yep.
Which started as what could have been the change in what YouTube became. It failed. And it was like all these creators, like the top echelon of creators making videos together and collaborating. And once they realized a lot of them don't like each other, it was just whittled down like, hi, I'm Ron, Lisa Nova, maybe a couple more people. And
Kasim was there the whole time?
I feel like Kasim left at a certain point because I don't think he got in on that Maker Studio.
He didn't get that
Guap.
Maker Studio. Guap.
No.
Kasim, baby, come on the show. Let us know.
Come on, Kasim.
Did you
We
get
got to
any of
know
that-
your side.
Did you get any of that guap?
Yeah, come on. You got dogged on a YouTube live event.
He
By
really
Norm
did.
McDonald. It's the least you can do is
Yeah.
clear your name.
And come hang with us, and we promise not to dog you as bad.
Yeah, but I mean, when the station became Maker, which is now owned by Disney.
Yeah, just like is their digital network.
Yeah, so like I mean, they got a lot off of that, but like I can't think of a single like person aside from them.
Dave Days is rolling in that Maker cash.
No, he's not.
Poor David.
But I mean, even anyone that was with Maker,
Yeah,
like you can't name anyone off the top of your head.
I just did. David Days.
Yeah, but he left before it was
Yeah.
sold to Disney. I'm just saying like a channel that was.
You already said hi, I'm Ron.
I did say hi. I'm not saying people that had like stock in it. I'm talking about actual like.
They had like underlings, like bullshit channels that no one cares about.
Yeah, they shouted out.
Oh,
But you don't remember any of that.
Of course
stuff.
not. I don't. No, not at all. And that proves the point.
That proves the point. It's just kind of one of those things where like, at the end of the day, you're watching Machinima. You know, you're watching Rooster Teeth, whatever it might be. Like you're not. I mean, it's nice to see these different things, but like you said, it's so many things at once.
Yeah.
And even I remember College Humor did that for a while with like their originals, and then like luckily they found I think success with like all the Hardly Workings and the Bleep Bloops and the Jake and Amirs. But I think if you were just like making like no one knows who wrote the hand vagina.
Yeah.
And I think luckily they were all like a group and they were getting paid a salary. It's a different situation. I'm not calling College Humor an MCN. The opposite.
They did have they used to host like third party shit on there. Like Derek Comedy, I think, was originally uploaded to College Humor.
Yeah, but it wasn't it was more of like uploading to YouTube,
That's true.
or as preferred creators.
Right.
Because they posted a lot of their stuff there. and they had other like semi-sponsored stuff. They had like High Times editorial stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was done by other people, but was like still through that. And I think something like that works.
Yeah.
When you look at it as more of like, okay, here's a bunch of people collaborating towards something, where that's not really what an MCN is. It's just there's one person at top who's getting all those pieces of the pie.
Yeah, it's like a pyramid scheme.
It is a pyramid scheme. And I think like, you have modern day people like, FaZe Clan or Clout Gang or like Team 10, which is dissolved now. But like Jake Paul wasn't even taking like one out of those 8 pieces of pie. He was taking like 5.
Yeah.
So he was essentially most of the royalties that were being made off of anyone in that Team 10 house were going towards him. And like we're going towards like renting this like multi-million-dollar house.
Yeah.
But anything that wasn't going to the house, mostly to him. Like the creators really weren't making too much. And it's like the people that you're watching, same thing. It's on Jake Paul's channel, the Team 10 channel. You're not tuning in there to see goddamn dancer in the background number 3. And it's all terrible. It's just for the vlog. Like all of this, it's good to have people around for the vlog. And that's like a different type of like MCN where they market it as like, oh, we're just like a bunch of influencers hanging out in the house.
I was going to say, because I think also a lot of like Twitch streamers have that same sort of vibe. I can't remember what they're called, but
That's the FaZe Clan is like they're a bunch of Twitch streamers.
Okay. I'm thinking of one, Michael Reeves? Do you know that guy?
No.
He's very funny. He's like this like coder guy who looks like he's 12 on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he makes his main favorite thing is he likes to make things that tase people. So it's like I made a chair, or no, one is I made a camera, but he's really short, right?
Yeah.
So it's like when you take the picture, it tases everyone else so that they are the same height as him or shorter because they're like knees buckle.
What an odd man.
He's crazy and it's awesome, and he's really good at coding and like building stuff.
Yeah.
But he's dating some Twitch streamer. And now he lives like in their big like mansion house with them, and then he just like has the garage where he makes taser things.
Yeah.
And then whenever he's like, hey guys, like come on down to my garage, they're always like, no Michael, I don't want to. And he's like, come to my garage.
Well, that seems like the new
thing, right?
new thing of is like you have all these people that like, no offense to any people in these houses, but a lot of them like on their own aren't that interesting. It's like, I'm a model, I'm a singer.
Yeah.
I dance. I do pranks.
I tase people.
Jesus, yeah. And it's like, okay, they all working together, we make better content, which in theory is great. But then you have like, that is true. But I'm the guy on the top that has a contract for all of you and makes like 70% of your wages.
Yeah.
And like all the ad, like this is your wage, but then like you're not getting ad revenue off this video, like you're not getting the sponsor money. I am, and then I give you a salary.
Yeah. And who's to say if that's like a fair wage?
A lot of the time it's not. Like I think a lot of people that have left these like big houses is like, so and so was making like 70% of the money that I did.
Yeah.
For really like not too much work. And it's kind of like even more of a pyramid scheme, but like kind of playing it off as like, oh, we're just a bunch of buddies instead of like, hey, we are an MCN, we are a big channel that will like host it. It's more in black, in the gray, I guess.
Yeah, it's a little bit more dishonest, being like, yeah, you come join our family.
Yeah.
Does Ryan Higa have one of those? Or does he just actually have like a crew of people that he like likes and hangs out with? Because he has like this big crew and they all sort of do stuff together.
I assume with Ryan Higa, he's been on the internet long enough, like maybe, but I
don't.
People
over. I don't think he's screwing people over, but I'm wondering what their arrangement is. I mean, because like the same thing with Michael Reeves's group, they don't feel like it doesn't feel like a Logan Paul situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't feel like that way, but it is. It's really a gray area. But I think at the same time, I think there was a period of time where even like just straight up YouTube comedians or like commentary people, it's pretty rare for them to be a part of an MCN now. Whereas that used to be such a big, I remember like between, I want to say 2010 and like 2015, it was almost like in vogue for everybody to be a part of an MCN.
Yeah, literally like everyone had some connection to one.
Yeah, like even like Philip DeFranco had something through like Discovery, was like a part of an MCN for a while, and then he had to like buy back the Philip DeFranco show.
Because he created SourceFed, right?
Yeah,
and then wasn't that like his
Well,
networking?
yeah, and
like
then for a
he's
while he did. So there was like SourceFed and SourceFed News.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because he like helped found Maker or the station.
Yeah.
And then it was one of the first people to. I think he might have been the first person to leave.
I wouldn't be surprised. He was like in one video and then
Yeah.
was gone.
Yeah, like one or two, and then bounced.
Yeah. A good call.
And you know what? Because I think Philly D was my favorite of everyone that made that like started that
In
together.
the first video, he was the funniest. Like
I
the
just
one where
meant,
we're all
like-
sitting around shooting the shit.
I just meant like as a creator, like
Yeah.
because I was already watching the majority of them, and
Yeah.
I think I liked Phil the most. Though it might have also just been because he's like granddaddy YouTube, and I had the
I think at the time
best
my
relationship
favorite was
with him.
like Dave Days or Cassim.
Yeah, those were the other two for me.
Yeah.
And I think like
And Shane, actually. Yeah.
I
For me, those were the big three.
yeah, Shane I watched. I didn't like him as much. I was starting to fall off Shane. But my point being is that when Phil left,
Yeah.
I kind of was like, okay, so the station's kind of suspect,
Yeah.
actually. Like, maybe it's not that good. And then it turned out to be not that good.
The thing is, Phil has never really talked about it. I have searched and searched and searched to see him say one thing about the station.
Yeah.
Maybe there are videos that he deleted, but like you can't find it on the internet anymore. Just one of the big differences is like, I mean, I don't want to shit on any of these people because I think it's good they've left like an MCN, but like when people are like, oh, this is why I left so and so, it's like, you're doing this for clout here.
Yeah, totally.
You're doing this for views. I'm not even saying that's necessarily wrong, but
I think there again is kind of like a gray area
yeah.
where it's like, especially I think those videos mattered more initially, like
Yeah.
when people were coming out
It's
about
like
machinima.
why I left. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like when machinima was first being found out as being like really bad,
Yeah.
it was like, yo, like don't sign to these people, they will fuck
Yeah.
you over, and trying to like warn people. And now,
It's like he should know.
yeah, exactly.
It's out there. Like what? Like, and that's the thing where like now when I see like I'll see like every once in a while on like a recommended. It's like why I left BuzzFeed, and I'm like, yo, people have been doing why I left BuzzFeed videos now for 7 years. Like by now you should know the rules they have that you like don't get your IP.
Yeah,
So when you're coming out and making of it, like it seems more of like because like if you put that in the
I
title,
also can't imagine that BuzzFeed doesn't tell you when you join.
no,
up
I'm
with
sure
them.
they do,
And
but
then-
I
and
also
then-
know as a company, a lot of the people they have, like I remember one of the first people I watched on BuzzFeed. I don't really watch anyone else nowadays, but like Gabby Dunn and Allison Raskin, like when they left to do their show full time, which became a podcast and live show and stuff. Like when they joined BuzzFeed, they were like 22 and 24.
Yeah,
And I think it's one of these things where like, okay, you're trying to be a stand-up, you're trying to write comedy, and all of a sudden on one of the biggest websites in the world is like, hey, I'll give you a pretty good salary to do that.
yeah,
It's in the contract, but like, dude, if I was 22 and someone says you get to get paid to write and produce comedy,
yeah,
100% I'd just be like, okay.
yeah.
I think now I've been screwed over so many times by like doing freelance work and working on sets where I'm like, no, I need to read every aspect of this.
Yeah, I need to be assured of my safety.
Like, even if like, I'm not going to name names. These are both people we like, but like we had two people on a commercial and one of them who was younger was like, okay, this release sounds good. Like I said, look over it, make sure we didn't get anything wrong. And they were like, okay, this looks great. Awesome. And then the other person who's a little older was like, just so you know, like how I work stuff out with my agent is like, you own my likeness in this commercial for a year. So then we go and do an addendum on that. But you have to think when you're not getting a lot of work and then someone's like, hey, here's paid acting work.
yeah,
You don't look over that release as much. But when you've been doing this like 20 years and someone's like, here you go, is like, yeah, no, I know that this needs to be here for like,
my protection and my
Yeah, and I-
safety.
I think that's the same with something like an MCN or even like a big network that gets a lot of individual creators to make different types of content.
Yeah,
Is you're not really thinking about that because all of a sudden, oh fuck, I get to do my dream job.
yeah, and it can cloud your judgment, I guess. I also, yeah, I suppose you're probably like, well, what's the big deal? Like, if I like working there and then they own my thing, then well, whatever. I'm still gonna be working there, right?
Yeah.
I get to make the thing.
But like you said earlier with like machinima, like not to this extent, but you have to think when there are more channels out there and the attention span is smaller. BuzzFeed has like anywhere between 5 to 8 different channels.
Yeah.
There's like, there are like BuzzFeed Blue, BuzzFeed Ray, like different BuzzFeed Comedy, BuzzFeed Original. So there's like 8 different channels, and each day 5 new videos come out in those channels.
Yeah, it's just an overwhelming
So
amount
if
of content.
you make 3 which is a lot, to be a producer and a creator, to make 3 like 4-minute videos a week, that's tough.
That's a shitload.
And that's what most of them are doing. So even if you're making that many videos in a week, you have to think, okay, so there's like 5 videos a day on, let's say, even in the middle, 8 different fucking channels. Okay, that's 40 videos a day on all their platforms. And then you put that over a week, and that's 280 videos over all of their things in a week. And you made 3 of those.
Yeah.
And some of them do like peak out, like, but it's like of all, like, let's say there's a bunch of different shows on BuzzFeed. Okay, let's say fucking Try Guys and some of the Allison, Rask, and Gabby Dunn videos, and maybe Worth It, like the food challenge. Okay, so that's 3 different shows out of like that 280 videos a week.
Yeah.
Odds are, if you're just one of those smaller level creators, if
You're getting nothing, basically.
you're getting nothing, but you're getting paid.
Yeah.
Now look at one of the guys. Okay, I'm carrying this channel on my back for a show I don't even own the rights to.
Yeah.
When you're one of those people that is clearly like, okay, you can look at the numbers and see that it's very clear that like my 3 out of fucking 280 videos.
That's what's bringing in the revenue. And that's what people are coming here for. Oh, I don't have to be here.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, I can do this on my own. That thing that you're very well known for and synonymous with, you can't do anything with that.
Yeah.
And I think, like, don't get me wrong, I do understand the point of view of, okay, like BuzzFeed was already a big website before this came out. So people are going to look at their videos, and all of a sudden, even if you're like super talented and have a great idea, maybe no one would have seen that. But at the same time, I think it's one of these things where it's like you put all these people in a room, and like what you as a company are providing is the name, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm so dumb today.
Recognition?
Name recognition, and you have an office, and you have access to equipment.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, is fucking huge.
Yeah.
But I think that there kind of becomes a certain point where, like, okay, you're doing that for everyone. And then when someone creates something that kind of grows out of that, like, I do think that person should have the right to their intellectual property. And again, you signed a contract.
Well, it's like that's not even just like a creative thing now. Like a lot of tech companies, if you come up with like some idea, whatever thing,
You have a sick line of code.
Yeah, exactly. You make some really cool like fucking football that tases you when you grab
Jesus.
it. Yeah. And it's like excellent. Even if you make that like in your bedroom with like a box of scraps.
Yeah.
They still own that, a lot of these tech companies, because it's written in your contract. Any idea you come up with while you're employed, not even just at their job on the hours, they own it, which is insane. That's literally insane to me. Because a lot of also like in the past, a lot of like big things or whatever, were made or came up with by people who are working in their spare time while working for other companies. It's like, I don't know. Imagine, like, I'm sure there are some people who are like, oh, like, I could make this, but what's the point? Because they're just going to fucking take it from me.
Well, that's the thing, too, is, like, even, like, as we're getting older and learn more of these things, like, for, like, client stuff we do, we need to write in our contract, like, we have the right to use this in our reel.
Yeah.
You know, you really have to learn as you're going on, like, you always got to be watching your ass. But.
Which, with an ass like yours, is easy.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
But, no pun intended. What all these MCNs failed to think about was you're fucking over people with the platform.
Yeah.
And that's what happened is eventually like 2010 to like 2015, it's awesome being a part of an MCN. It's awesome being a part of like a network that employs creators.
Yeah.
That's what everyone's thinking. I know that's what I was thinking as like, oh, okay, I'm in film school or I'm in high school. I think this would be great if I could do this. And then now it's like, oh no, I'd want to avoid that like the fucking plague, because all these people with like millions and millions of followers all of a sudden came out with videos saying, I am now leaving this MCN and here is why.
Yeah.
You had, whether it be like leaving BuzzFeed, why I'm leaving this influencer house. I think one of the big ones that really like hit me where I live is like the why I'm leaving Smosh.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Fuck. Who are those assholes again?
Anthony and Ian.
No. The Defy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
I defy you to think of a worse company. Does that work?
We'll get. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And we'll get into more about Machinima, but like for Defy, I think on the surface you can look at it like, oh, okay, they really fucked Smosh over. But they really fucked like there were a lot of people with Defy. Like Clever was with Defy. There were a lot of different channels that like all of a sudden, okay, I'm not, no severance, no nothing, no notice. I'm just not making a paycheck anymore. And where'd all that $63 million or whatever of money go that was just invested? Like they embezzled that money, took the money and ran. And even if we're not talking about that, like Defy, even if you look someone like Smosh, Defy bought Smosh for nothing but stock in the company. But stock in the company is only worth it if the company goes public.
Yeah.
So they gave them a salary, but they owned this thing they created. And here's the thing about something like, we're not looking at something like a BuzzFeed where it's like, again, though don't love their business practices, like, hey, you're someone no one really knows about, but you've applied for this job and you have promise. This is like Smosh was already the #1 channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
They had a track record. So these people that built everything up, Defy did fucking nothing but pay a salary. And then they owned fucking everything Smosh made. And because the company never went public.
And then they also like hoard them out. Like, probably, I don't know, but it feels like force them to make like monotonous, samey content.
Well, that's what Anthony
like clickbaits.
Yeah, I was like, what if this was real? Like
Yeah.
all those and there wasn't room for anything new. It's like you have to make these videos, you have to make these sponsored videos. Like this is what's raking in the money. Not that you're seeing any difference of the money. And that's the thing where like it's kind of a gray area is when you are on salary for something like internet content. If a video performs better and you get a good sponsor and you're an independent creator, all that money is for you.
Yeah.
But when all that money is going to the MCN and you're just on salary for a company you created, you have a better year, maybe a bonus the year after, but you're not seeing that other influx of money. And no one is. And
I guess, well, like, to be fair, I mean, I don't want to be fair to MCMs, but I guess the reasoning is it's like, yeah, if you do a great video and it performs really well, that's on you and you get all the cash. But if you also have one that doesn't perform as well and you don't get very much, that's also on you.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get
I
less.
understand
And there's the stability of like, well, you're at least getting a steady paycheck.
I understand the logic. I just think like something like Defy like got established people already that they were getting views. And
I don't know how they conned their way into that, but it's kind of brilliant.
No, there is like a genius in it.
Yeah.
Because like something like Defy, like most of the channels they're known for were big before Defy bought them. And we also have to think like the internet is relatively new as far as like internet content making money.
Yeah.
Up until even now, to a certain extent, you still have that mindset of traditional media. So when you're in this thing that is kind of still evolving, that you don't even totally know how it works, and all of a sudden someone's like, hey, me, like a CBS or a production house or a network is going to buy your shit and you have a salary and a job to make shit. And you don't have to worry about getting sponsors. You don't have to worry about like writing branded content. You don't have to worry about like, like updating your website or anything. Fucking great. But when it's something like someone like Smosh or Clever, God, they have a lot of channels. I can't think of any off the top of my cock now. But all these channels like would have been fine without Defy.
They would have been better without Defy.
They would have been better without Defy, and like that little extra work it would have been to like update a website or like hire someone to do like any sort of maintenance, hire someone to like find sponsors, and just be a part of like their company. Yeah, it might have been a little harder in the short term, but in the long term, like it would have been much better.
Also, I mean, I don't know them, but from what I've gathered from Anthony is that he already loved doing all that stuff. Like he was maintaining the website and doing all that.
Well, that's how Smosh started. Is he just wanted to learn how to make websites.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he just really loved doing all that shit. And I think
fuck, man, I love the busy work of like PMing and like sort of getting a crew together and figuring out like
Yeah, it
it's
keeps
fun.
the dark thoughts from overtaking you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't think about how you're gonna die when you're too busy thinking about a whole slew of other shit.
Yeah, like where will we buy the donuts for set today?
Yeah.
Because Timmy's is bad, but it's the only one nearby.
Yeah, like do we go all the way to fucking Lee's?
Yeah, but Elise is so pricey.
That's the thing.
So what, do we drive all the way out to Krispy Kreme?
It's too far.
It's too far.
Yeah.
So what do we buy? How do we get good donuts for the crew? That's a hard
Do we make
problem.
our own? I don't know how to make a goddamn donut.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna take too
You would
long.
make one. Yeah, so it's like it's too expensive. They're too shitty.
Yeah.
It's too far. It takes too long. So you got to figure out what's the best of both worlds, Hannah Montana style.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe there's like this local patisserie that has Deece donuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
For not a terrible price.
Yeah,
That's
but
the busy work.
you
I
got to go
like.
to like a scummy neighborhood for it.
Yeah,
and you're
real
like
seedy
that's
neighborhood.
and you're like, you know what, I can handle that.
Yeah.
So, and while you're thinking of all this, like that creeping thought of like, what if you just like jumped off the building?
Yeah.
That's not bugging you anymore.
No, it's not at the back of your mind. Like even when you're like falling asleep, I'm worrying about this budget. Is it gonna work instead of worrying about like what if I had a brain aneurysm and fucking collapsed and then like
Yeah, and
my
like,
consciousness is just done.
and like Laura wakes up to find that.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd be awful.
yeah, but
Davis is weeping.
exactly, and you're not thinking about that. You're thinking about spreadsheets.
So that's the stuff I like thinking about. That's the stuff I think other creators are fine with. It just kind of seemed at the time that's what you have to do. You got to sign with someone to like get to the next level.
Yeah,
And you know more about machinima than I.
yeah. I mean, I've said most of what I know. Just that
Maybe we could ask someone about it.
if only we knew someone who knew more information.
Yeah.
If only you could tune in next week to hear someone who had real experience working with machinima to tell us all about what it was like and give us in-depth information.
Also, guywiththeglasses.com, who did Nostalgia Critic.
Oh,
That whole
yeah.
thing was pretty toxic. Quentin Reviews has a really good video about it.
About how he's just like a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. There were a lot of people like sexually harassing the female actors and other like, because essentially what it was is it was a big chant, like an MCN of reviewers.
Yeah.
And a lot of the female reviewers were getting like harassed. Again, it was one of those things where like the top creator was making like most of the money. The quality of a lot of these people's video went down, and they really only pushed the Nostalgia Critic. Like a lot of other people's channels weren't pushed as much, you know. It's
And
just
he
never
was
a
just
good
a bad ripoff of Angry Video Game Nerd,
yeah.
who is a golden
Yeah, come on the
Child.
pod, Mr. Nerd.
Mr. Rolf.
James.
Which is
baby.
funny because actually, I guess when I think about it, the first dude who I knew of who was part of like a network probably would have been Mr. James Rolfe.
Oh yeah?
Because he was part of a network called Screw Attack, which was more, I feel like more of a traditional network. They had their own site. They were more of like a College Humor
Yeah.
type thing. I'm not quite sure their history, but yeah, they were more of like an actual network, and they
Yeah.
employed him to make. I think he had contracts to make Angry Video Game Nerd with them, and definitely had contracts to make like some movie review stuff with them.
Irate Gamer also ripped him off, and for a while got a lot more popular. So and that's the thing. Like when you do rip someone off, you may get momentarily more popular, but the staying power isn't there. Not many people know about Irate Gamer, but a
Yeah.
lot of people know about Angry Video Game Nerd.
Yeah, that is kind of true. Hey, except for Weird Al,
Yeah, but
he's the goat.
Weird Al does also ask everyone beforehand if he can do it.
Yeah, I know he's a different beast.
Yeah, he's a great dude. We love you, Mr. Albert. Come on the show.
Is that his name?
Uh,
Albert Yankovic.
Albert Yankovic.
That's cool.
It's pretty ace, actually.
It's very ace. Anyway,
But that
I don't know what. So I do know Screw Attack actually got purchased by Full Screen, I think.
Yeah.
Or perhaps they were purchased by Rooster Teeth. I think they were purchased by Full Screen, who also owns Rooster Teeth, and now
Yeah.
Screw Attack is like a subsidiary of Rooster Teeth, which is funny because Machinima also got purchased by Full Screen.
Well,
Well,
was just destroyed, right?
yeah, well, but yeah, they basically bought them for the IP, which so now essentially Rooster Teeth, I mean, is kind of like they create a lot of the actual content for Full Screen, as far as
Yeah.
I'm aware. Full Screen owns them, who's owned by Otter Media, and then that's like blah, 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 all the way up.
Yeah.
But like,
Who's owned
so-
by Ted Danson?
is it really?
No.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah. It's just all owned by Ted Danson.
But it just gets very incestuous when you start looking at it, because it's like, so one of the main staples of Rooster Teeth now, like of the content creators, is Funhouse, who back when I watched Rooster Teeth, they were kind of split into two companies, which was Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter.
Yeah.
And Rooster Teeth made like the more like narrative content, and Achievement Hunter was like Let's Plays and
Yeah.
game reviews and whatnot. And then they there used to be a show called Inside Gaming on Machinima, and it was hosted by, I think it was hosted by Adam Kovic.
Yeah.
Or whatever his name is. And he was like, fuck Machinima after
Yeah.
a bit, because it's terrible, and took his whole crew, and they created Funhouse, who was later bought by Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
And I think Funhouse is a subsidiary of Achievement Hunter, which is a subsidiary of Rooster Teeth, which is a subsidiary of Full
They're
Screen.
all owned by the same fucking
Bullshit.
Yeah.
But now that Full Screen has bought all the rights to Machinima and all of their shit,
Yeah.
Funhouse is gonna start making Inside Gaming again. So it's like this whole like full circle back to where they started.
And it's all owned by some asshole lying in the water on his back, trying to break open a friggin'
coconut or
coconut.
something.
What is it? No, sea urchin.
Yeah,
That's what otters like.
they like to hang out. They like to hold hands.
Yeah, it's pretty chill, but these guys are not real otters.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're, what are they, like bears?
No, they're like business otters.
They're like twinks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's like the best like bod type for a businessman?
I feel like otter maybe.
Yeah. What if like a twunk?
Yeah, I think that's good. I think like you want to be like sleek, but not too like shredded up or like it downplays your energy. But you can't be holding like too much mass where you can't like move around. You know, you got to be on calls, busy business.
Yeah, you got to be quick. So
Yeah, you
probably Otter is
yeah, I think otter. Who's like a Guillaume build is a friend of ours.
he's a little too yoked, I think.
Not now
Okay.
because he's doing a lot of music.
When I remember him, he was pretty yoked.
Yeah, he's super yoked.
So he wasn't really an otter. He was a twunk through and through.
Who do we know, or who in the like a Gosling is like, yeah,
Otters have to be hairy though, correct?
maybe, I don't know. I feel like you can have a beard.
Yeah, but I think beards are kind of a no-go. I think beards are like becoming okay in the business world, but I think
Yeah, they're definitely becoming okay, especially in the startup world. Like we're fine.
we're not business people.
No.
No. But I don't know, like these are the real important questions.
These, yeah. Like
How do we know? Like, I guess it's like if I'm going into a meeting,
you can't have
am I-
stubble. That's what you have to like. It's kind of like that Hallmark rule. In Hallmark movies, you either have to have like a full, very polished, shaped beard or like clean shaven. And I think that's what it's like in the business world too.
yeah, because you can't look like schlubby in any way.
No. Combed hair,
I think
clean cut, or like a very like maintained, groomed beard.
bears used to be okay.
In the business world?
Yeah, I don't know if bears get as much respect now. Because I feel like a bear is like pretty domineering and powerful, so
Yeah.
like, that's like pretty good for business.
So you're saying like maybe a twink is good.
I think twink is the worst.
Oh, okay.
Twunk is better.
A twonk, okay.
Yeah, or an otter.
Yeah.
Twink is like you're too like I wouldn't do well. Look at me.
You don't think you do well in the business world?
Look at me.
Because of the long hair.
And the little beard thing, and I'm so small.
But it fits your look.
Yeah,
It's
but
just not for business.
put me in a suit, and no one will take me seriously.
I guess maybe if I shaved, I could be in the business world.
Yeah.
But I don't want to.
You'd have you shave, get like a real nice suit,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to slick your hair back really all like in a way that I would hate,
Yeah.
but like would look profesh.
That's what I don't like about the business world, man.
And this is
Like,
what the problem with MCNs
why can't I just be
is.
here in a pair of sweats that are really stained in a
Holy
whole-
t-shirt.
Darth Vader shirt and a goddamn baseball cap, and I come to a meeting? I know more than fucking Johnny Nobody down there in his fucking tucked in express button up.
Yeah.
So like,
And like together, you and I could definitely beat up Jeff Bezos.
oh, 100% we could take Bezos.
So like, who's the cash king now?
I think alone either of us could take fucking Eisenberg. Not sorry.
Eisenberg.
The fucking
The
the
Zook.
guy, the Zook.
The Zook.
Yeah, we could.
Well, you guys gotta fight for the rights to Zook,
Yeah,
and he's gonna lose.
he's gonna 100%.
Except
crush his skull. I don't give a shit.
he might win just because like
His lizard power.
his lizard powers. I was gonna say his robot exoskeleton.
Either one. His robot. He
His
is.
robot lizard powers.
He is robot Godzilla or Mecha Godzilla.
That's cool.
That is cool.
You ever watch Godzilla?
I've seen like the remake,
Which one?
the 2014 one,
Not the 1998 one.
not the Broderick one. No,
Why not?
I just never got around to it.
Yeah, it's not.
I also feel like I should watch the original Gojira.
Gojira. You know what's funny? It means gorilla.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
And then King Kong is a gorilla.
I know.
This is whack, man. You know, Godzilla was like an allegory for that's not the word. It's not the right word, but we'll move past it. For the nuclear bomb,
A metaphor.
a metaphor. Well, yeah. Okay. I guess.
Allegory is like a story.
Yeah, I was thinking, is it a simile? I guess I'm on the wide now. This is a good timing anyway.
Did we lose this camera?
Possibly, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's like because it's this all nuclear big thing destroying the city, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. That's what we did. Not me personally. Neither of my family was in the goddamn country at the time.
Oh, so it wasn't Canada that did it.
No, it was the States. I'm saying my family wasn't even goddamn North America.
Yeah.
So don't like fucking pin it on me. But fuck you, America.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was our episode about MCNs.
I think it was pretty good.
I think it was good.
Did we school people?
We schooled people. I think they learned a little something and why they should just be independent.
Yeah, like us.
Like us, yeah. Cool cats.
Yeah.
If you want to see our stuff, we're When We Are There show on Instagram, on goddamn TikTok, www there show, or just there? On Twitter. No, we don't use our Twitter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what it
Friend
is.
Styles on Anchor FM and Patreon.
Yeah, if you want to pay us
to
so we
keep
can stay
rambling.
independent. Okay.
Yeah.
And
And then we can buy When We Are There show on Twitter from whatever loser.
probably want to buy friendstyles.com.
Yeah, we have .ca.
And there's also nothing on there.
None there.
We're just wasting that.
Yeah. We got a lot of commercials this summer, so it's tough.
We'll get to it.
Anyway, bye.
Bye.